What if the real reason you feel stuck is that your thoughts were never yours to begin with? What if the voice in your head, the one that hesitates, doubts, overthinks, was never your voice at all, but an echo of everything you were told before you ever had a chance to choose who you were? And what if the only way to take your life back is to take your mind back first? This isn't just another video. This is a recalibration, a rewiring, a stripping away of the mental programs you didn't choose. But it only works if you stay with me every word, every shift, every drop of resistance that breaks off as you listen. Because we're not here to motivate you. We're here to rebuild you. Not slowly, not eventually. Now, in real time. This is where all power begins. Control over thought. The mind is not a mirror that reflects the world. It is a magnet that pulls experiences into form based on the thoughts you allow. And if you do not consciously direct those thoughts, someone or something else will. Fear, doubt, weakness, the noise of a distracted world. Most people are not living. They are running on programming. They think they are making decisions, but they're reacting to their past, their surroundings, to what others expect. They repeat thoughts they never chose, chase goals they don't even understand, and wonder why they feel empty even when they achieve something. The truth is simple. You become what you think about. Thought held consistently with emotion becomes belief. Belief acted upon becomes habit. Habit becomes identity. So if you want lasting change, it does not begin with your habits. It begins here with your thoughts. You must be ruthless with what you allow into your mind. Weakness has no place here. Maybe is not allowed. Scrolling through doubt, negativity, and distraction each morning cannot coexist with clarity and power. You must train your mind as an athlete trains the body with discipline, intention, and repetition. The first training is this. Decide who you are becoming. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. That decision is the starting point of all power. Not a feeling, not a wish, not a moment of hype, a firm, unshakable decision to step into a higher identity and repeat it until it hardwires itself into your nervous system. The world does not rise to your hopes, it rises to your standard. You are not here to react. You are here to design your life with thought, with focus, with precision. Every empire, every breakthrough, every revolution started first in the invisible realm of thought, before steel, before structure, before system. There was a man with an idea he refused to release. That man is you. See your mind as sacred, a temple, a construction site for power. Every thought is a brick. Every brick builds either a fortress or a grave. This is not theory. This is law. Lose control of your thoughts, and you lose control of your life. From this moment, you become the architect. You choose your thoughts. You repeat them with emotion. You align your actions. You bend reality to match the vision in your mind. This is not the time to scroll, not the time to doubt. This is the time to build. And yes, your old mind will resist. That resistance is proof of change. You are not just watching, you are rewiring. You are laying the foundation of your power. Your mind is a factory. Its dominant thoughts are the blueprint. From the moment you wake to the moment you sleep, it is producing beliefs, behaviors, reactions, results. The workers never rest. The machines never stop. If the blueprint is fear, the factory produces hesitation. If the blueprint is doubt, it produces excuses. But if the blueprint is vision, reinforced daily with precision and intensity, it produces results others call impossible. This is not a metaphor. This is your mind. Every action, every habit, every reaction is the product of what your subconscious has been taught. And now, it's time to teach it differently. You don't act on what's true, you act on what you believe. And belief is built through repetition. This is why two men can face the same challenge and walk away with two completely different outcomes. One rises, one collapses. Same world, same pressure, different programming. Your subconscious mind doesn't argue, it doesn't question, it doesn't analyze, it accepts. Whatever you feed it repeatedly becomes its truth. So ask yourself, what have you rehearsed so many times it became your identity? I'm not disciplined. I always mess up. I can't stay consistent. I don't have what it takes. I'll start tomorrow. I'm just not like them. You didn't choose these beliefs. You repeated them until your mind accepted them as commands. And now they run silently in the background. Not because they're real, but because they're familiar. Understand this. The subconscious mind does not respond to what is true. It responds to what is dominant. If your dominant thought is fear, you will act in fear. If your dominant thought is weakness, your life will shrink to match it. But if your dominant thought is strength, clarity, vision, power, your entire life will begin to reflect that programming. This is why your inner dialogue matters more than anything the world says about you. The words you say to yourself in silence become the loudest force in your destiny. They shape your standard, your identity, your behavior, everything. And here is the most liberating truth. You can rewrite it. Your past doesn't matter. Your environment doesn't matter. How long you've lived by the wrong script doesn't matter. The factory doesn't care. It just builds whatever blueprint it's given. Give it a new blueprint long enough, deliberately enough, intensely enough, and the output changes. Your life changes because your mind isn't broken. It's obedient. But it only obeys an architect bold enough to take control of the design. And that architect is you. If the subconscious mind is the factory, then autosuggestion is the manager. It's the process of planting your own instructions into your subconscious until they take root. And you're already doing it every day through your thoughts, your words, your self-talk, your focus, your reactions. The only question is, are you doing it by design or by drift? Most people drift. They absorb beliefs from media, from parents, from failure, from fear. Those beliefs become commands. Those commands become identity. But a man who has decided, a man who understands repetition, he does not drift. He designs. He wakes before the world can reach him. He speaks his identity into existence. He does it when the mind is soft in the morning. He does it when the mind is quiet at night. He does it every day, not once, not sometimes, every day. Because the subconscious does not respect effort. It respects dominance. What it hears most, it believes most. And what it believes, it builds. This is how transformation happens. Not through hype, not through temporary emotion, through disciplined, intentional repetition. This is how you shift from I wish I was disciplined to I am a man of discipline. From I hope I stay focused to I finish everything I start. From I'm afraid of failing to there is no failure, only feedback, and I adapt. Thoughts do not become things by accident. They become things when they are repeated with emotion, spoken with conviction, felt in the body, and rehearsed until the mind accepts them as reality. Here are the exact steps. 1, write your chief aim, not a goal, not a wish, a decision, a clear personal declaration of what you are building and who you are becoming. 2, read it aloud twice a day, once in the morning, once before bed, not mechanically, not quietly, but like a man speaking his future into existence. 3rd, attach emotion. You must feel it, see it, picture the reward, visualize yourself already living in the identity, already in possession of the outcome. Because it's not just what you say, it's what you believe as you say it. 4th, speak with authority. You are not asking, you are commanding. Not from entitlement, but from alignment. Your habits match your words. Your actions match your vision. That alignment builds the one thing no man can fake, faith, not hope. not hype, faith. And faith is not a feeling. It is a habit. It is the result of installing belief through deliberate repetition until it is stronger than doubt, stronger than fear, stronger than anything the world throws at you. This is how you reprogram your mind. Not once, not when you feel like it, daily, until the words echo in your movement, until your habits match your declarations, until your identity is welded, not to your past, but to your decision. Because you are no longer a man hoping for better results. You are the engineer of your mind, and it is time to build something that cannot be undone. Fear is the great thief of dreams. It doesn't knock down doors. It whispers through keyholes. It doesn't scream. It suggests. It plants doubt. It delays action. And by the time you notice, it has already stolen years of your life. But here's the truth. Fear is not real. It is not a force. It is not a wall. It is not a predator. Fear is a ghost, and a ghost only survives if you believe in it. Every man on this path must face 6 ghosts, 6 illusions, 6 shadows that haunt the road of progress. Until you name them, drag them into the light, they will hunt you. Ghost 1, the fear of poverty. The fear of not having enough. It paralyzes action, keeps men trapped in comfort, whispering, "Don't risk it, stay safe. What if you lose everything?" But comfort is a cage. Luxury rots your will. Ironically, the man who fears poverty most is the one most likely to live in it because his decisions are shaped by avoidance, not ambition. Ghost 2, the fear of criticism, the fear of judgment, of being misunderstood. It stops men from starting. What will they think? What if I look foolish? No man builds greatness without first being criticized. You cannot chase excellence and avoid judgment. They come together. Let them talk. You build. Ghost 3, the fear of ill health, the fear of sickness, weakness, breakdown. But fear itself creates the conditions. Worry weakens, anxiety destroys immunity, stress becomes illness. The antidote: action, focus, and care. Protect the body by feeding its strength, not fearing its failure. Ghost 4, the fear of loss of love, fear of abandonment, rejection, being left behind. It makes men shrink, chase validation, tolerate disrespect. But the man who lives for love risks losing himself to keep it. And the moment you lose yourself, you've already lost what matters most. Ghost 5, the fear of old age, fear of time, decline, being too late. Age is not the enemy. Indecision is. You are not running out of time. You are wasting the time you have because you wait, doubt, postpone. The moment you decide to act, time bends. It sharpens. It multiplies. Clarity compresses years into months. And finally, Ghost 6, the fear of death, the final illusion, the fear that underpins all the others. But what is death to a man who has lived fully, who built, who decided, who followed his calling with everything he had? Death is not the enemy. Wasting your life is. These are the 6 ghosts, not truths, not laws. Ghosts, empty. Illusions pass from man to man like curses until someone breaks them, and that someone is you. Fear cannot survive in the presence of purpose. It shrinks under decisiveness. It dies in the fire of action. But here's the trick fear uses best. It doesn't show up as fear. It wears the mask of logic, of realism, of safety. It whispers, be careful, don't risk it, play it safe. And while it calls itself your friend, it is the thief of your destiny. Let this sink in. Fear is a thief dressed as a friend. It whispers safety while stealing your life. And the only way to defeat a thief is to confront him. You cannot outrun fear. You cannot reason with it. You can only do one thing: face it. Look it in the eye, name it, strip away its disguise, and act anyway. Fear survives in silence, in hesitation, in delay. It feeds on avoidance. The longer you wait, the stronger it seems. Here's the secret. It only seems stronger. In reality, fear has no substance. It's only as real as your reaction. So the first step is this: name it. Write it down. Don't keep it vague. Don't keep it inside. Write the exact fear that's keeping you small. Maybe it sounds like this: I'm afraid I'll fail and everyone will see. I'm afraid I'm not good enough. I'm afraid it's too late. Put it on paper. Let it bleed. Because when you give fear a name, you steal its shadow. You force it to stand in the light, and fear cannot survive long in the light. Now speak against it. Write the counter. Not in soft language. Not in hesitation. Speak like a man who is done being bullied by his own mind. Say things like, I do not fear failure. I do not cower before doubt. I act in spite of what I feel. Because action is the antidote. Courage is a habit. And decisiveness is the hammer that breaks every ghost in your path. I fear regret. I do not need to be perfect. I need to be in motion. I do not ask permission. I build. Every time you speak like this, you are reprogramming your mind. You are reshaping the operating system, because the voice in your head becomes the belief in your bones. And now take the most important step. Act. Fear dies in motion. The second you take the step, make the call, hit publish, show up, speak up, you kill the hesitation that feeds the fear. You don't need courage to act. You act. And courage shows up after, because the action isn't just what changes your life, it's what rewires your identity. Every time you act boldly, you train your subconscious to trust you. You prove to your mind we move forward. Now you create a new loop, a new pattern, a new image of who you are. And that's what breaks the cycle, because fear and identity cannot share the same space. The man who is defined by hesitation cannot also be defined by action. One identity must die. One must become dominant. And that dominance comes from repetition, which brings us to the most important tool you have: definiteness of purpose. The man with a clear mission doesn't negotiate with fear. He doesn't consult the crowd. He doesn't wait for applause. He moves because he decided. When your purpose is strong, fear becomes a background noise, faint, irrelevant, unconvincing. It might whisper, but it no longer commands. So build a mission so strong that fear cannot compete. A mission that makes you willing to be misunderstood. A mission that makes you immune to distraction. A mission that makes the discomfort worth it, because the reward is more real than the risk. And when that mission is burned into your mind, you won't need hype. You'll have direction. Because here's the truth: most won't admit. You will feel fear. It won't vanish completely. But now you'll move anyway. You'll see fear and say, thank you for confirming I'm on the edge of growth. Thank you for the signal. Now get out of my way. Because on the other side of that fear, that's where your new self lives. And every time you cross that line, you get closer. You become more decisive, more dangerous, more undeniable. Not because fear left, but because you stopped listening. You started leading. You acted. So write the fear, speak against it, then act immediately. And every time you do, you are not just killing fear. You are replacing it with purpose, with clarity, with a new identity. You don't just overcome fear. You become someone it can no longer speak to. Identity is not fixed. It's not carved into stone. It's shaped, sculpted by repetition. The man you become is not created by a single moment of clarity, but by the thousands of silent repetitions you perform when no one is watching, the words you say to yourself, the emotions you attach to those words, the images you hold in your mind. You become what you repeat. If you speak like a man who is unsure, you become a man who hesitates. If you walk like a man with no aim, you drift. If your rituals are reactive, so is your destiny. But if your words carry power, if your routines carry intent, if your beliefs are repeated with emotion, Your identity bends to your design. This is not a theory. This is law. The subconscious mind does not argue. It does not fact check. It obeys. It accepts what is repeated with intensity, especially when that repetition comes with emotion. You don't have to feel ready. You have to feel real. When you say, I am focused, even when you're not, and you repeat it again and again, you begin to change the emotional code inside your nervous system. You fire new circuits. You spark new expectations. And over time, your actions begin to match your words. You are not pretending. You are installing. This is why auto-suggestion works. Identity is not inherited. It is rehearsed. You must speak to yourself not as you have been, but as you intend to become. Not as a reaction to your environment, but as a command to your future. Say it now. I am not a man who drifts. I am not a man who reacts. I move with purpose. I decide. I finish what I start. Say it once. It's a whisper. Say it 10 times a day for 30 days straight. It becomes your standard. This is what the great ones do. Not occasionally, not half-heartedly, daily, with intention. They shape their minds. They do not leave identity to chance, because the world will try to program you. Your past will try to repeat itself. Your environment will try to write your story. But when you repeat power deliberately, you take authorship. You are not living by memory anymore. You are living by design. That is how you build the identity of a winner. Say it, repeat it. Move like it until the world doesn't need to hear it, because it feels it in your presence. When your beliefs match your speech matches your actions, and your actions match your future. That is when identity becomes inevitable. Words alone are not enough. They must be owned, tied to repetition, belief, and action. You must install the identity of a winner line by line until there is no trace of the man you used to be. This is how you do it, through daily declarations, not casual, not passive, not whispered. Speak them with force. Feel them in your bones. Declare them until your subconscious no longer questions their truth. You are not just saying affirmations. You are giving commands. You are writing code into the deepest part of your operating system. And the code must be simple, clear, repeated, and felt. Let's begin now. Say these words out loud, no matter where you are, no matter how it feels. Say them like your future depends on it, because it does. I am disciplined. Say it again. I am disciplined. Not when it's easy, not when you feel like it, but when it is required. Discipline is not a mood. Discipline is a decision. Every time you speak it, you reinforce your ability to act in alignment with who you are becoming. Now, say, I am decisive. Indecision kills more dreams than failure ever could. You are not indecisive. You know what you want. You know what must be done. Even if fear shows up, you do not let it stay. A man who decides quickly and changes slowly builds empires. Now say, I am calm under pressure. Pressure does not break you. It activates you. You are not shaken by chaos. You are not moved by emotion. You stand firm because your foundation is solid. You are grounded, unshakable, steady. You have trained your mind to lead, even when the world shakes. Now say, I am not average. I do not drift. Average is the result of passive programming, but you are no longer passive. You are intentional. You don't float. You move forward. You build. You create. You execute every single day. These are not motivational lines. These are not words to post on a screen. These are installations. And if you want these words to work, if you want them to change you, you repeat them daily. Every morning before the world has a chance to speak. Every night before the noise of the day steals your clarity. This is your ritual. This is your code. You say these words like your life depends on them, because it does. I am disciplined. I am decisive. I am calm under pressure. I am not average. I do not drift. You're not saying them to feel good. You're saying them to become dangerous. This is not wishful thinking. It's mental conditioning, just like a body is sculpted through